Hey guys, in the previous video we explored how we can make read queries in Neo4j using Cypher query language. And we even did two recommendation queries, which you can see on your screen right now. And in this video I wanted to show you how we can use Cypher query builder to add them to our Nestjs application. But before that, I just wanted to mention that I'm using a sandbox database. Unfortunately, I couldn't find the data available in the internet, so I've recreated the database itself because it's provided only for 3 days, and I added new credentials and just reconnected to it. You can request the database backup, I think somewhere here, but I thought it's just easier to recreate the database because we are not adding any crucial information, so we can just connect to it once again and do everything. I mean, start using just the data. If you're wondering how you can connect to the database, we just need to switch the host and the password, and the rest is the same. So you can find them in the connection details. So the host is this IP address and password is here. All right, and regarding the queries themselves, these queries, I've added them as well in a separate file, so they will be in the queries, and here is match.cypher, and I named them a bit, so you will be able to find them in their repo. And here I'm using the project which we did before. It's a recommendations project. So let's start exploring the Cypher query builder. If you recall, we created the query repository, which uses the connection to the database, and it returns the init query, which has all the methods of the Cypher query builder. So the first thing I wanted to do, just to rewrite these queries, because here we're using just a raw query and writing everything just basically like a string. So I wanted to convert them to our query builder queries. All right. So let's start with the first one, with the create person. All right, so let me comment this bit for now. And actually, one last thing I wanted to show you. I made some changes to the project already. I've added some mutations. I will explain them, actually queries. I will explain what they're doing a bit later. But just wanted to mention that they added all the entities we have in the database, which is actor, director, person, user. Well, you can read them, and the relations which we have. And I'm going to use these enums throughout our project so we don't make any typos. All right, so they're already here. Let me close this once. All right, so the init query builder is init query already initialized, and here, as you can see, we have tons of methods. So the query we will try to rewrite is the create the person. So let's explore if we have a create, and that is correct. So here we have a create method. As you can see, it has node, relation, and node. So it creates the entire basically the entire pass from node to another node. We don't need that. We're gonna use create node. All right, and let's see, because we are creating just one node without any relations. And here we need to provide the name, then the label, and the conditions. All right, so it's basically, let me just hover over it again. We can just go in here and yeah, I think it's pretty clear. I'm not going to stop on it. So as you can see here, we have the same name, which is the alias, the label, and then what did I name it? The conditions, right? So we're going to do the same. As I mentioned, we already have the entities. We're going to import them, and this will be entities.person. So I'm going to use the alias the same as the entity name itself, or the node name itself. And for the conditions, I'm gonna just add name and age, and this should be it. So it's pretty straightforward. And one other thing, that we will have the entity person in here as well. We will extract data from it. And this should work. So let me start the project and test it out. All right, let me check which port we are using. So it's 50/50. Let's wait for a little bit. All right. And all right, I have 50/50 already open here. All right, let me close these ones for now. And let me find the query, the mutation we are running. So let me close this, and we will use create person. We will need to add the person input, and that will be the name and the age. So the name I'm going to use as well, once again, GSP, and his age, I don't know, 39, and let's test it out. Cannot return a null value. All right, let's debug it. Not sure. We are not returning anything, obviously. So here we need to add the return statement, and we will return the person. All right, let me just cut this out for now. Are we online? Yes. And let's run the query once again, and it's working. Look how easy it was. And now we have a more generic function. So uh, um, what we might do later on, we might create an abstraction on top of this create node where we will, so we don't need to provide the entities.person twice. We will provide it just once and inject them in here and here. But for now, let's keep it this way. I don't want to overcomplicate. So next thing I want to do is to change the get person. All right, let's move it here. And once again, so here we will need to find, so we are matching person by ID. All right, so let's check the match, what we have in here. So as you can see, let's check out the example. So here we can see match. We can provide node. Let's use the node actually, because we're going to use it later on. So what we are providing here, we are matching an array where we provide the first thing is the node, which is the same node like here. And in the node, we need to provide the first thing is alias, then the label, and then any parameters we would like to filter it by. And then we provide the relation, we provide the direction. This bit is, I think this is the alias as well, and then the relationship name, and the same goes for the node on the other side. All right, so here we are matching just the person, but in any case, we need to start with the array, then import the node function, which is from Cypher Query Builder, and now we will match the person and node. Once again, this is the alias. The next thing is, I think we actually don't need to provide it twice, but let me just to be sure provide it 2 times. And the other thing that we need to write a where statement, because we can't write it in the inline search. So here I will add where, and this is going to be a bit tricky because here we can write just properties like so, but if you recall, for the ID we need to wrap it into the function. So what I'm going to do, so we need to provide an object, and here we need to specify the key, and the key should be ID person, right? So how we can do that? We can use it in the brackets and then provide the string. So here should be basically ID and the entity we have, the node we have, sorry. Actually, the label, the alias we are using here is going to be entities.person. Sorry, I'm just a bit uh, confused with the terminology sometimes myself. And then this should equal basically to the ID we are providing in a function. So all this does, right, all this string is gonna do the same as here. And one last thing, yep, we need to just return the entities.person. All right, and run the query. I think we don't need this anymore. And yeah, and we need to adjust the what we are extracting. And let's see if it works. So we want to get the person. Let me return back. Query, get person, age, and the person's ID will be this one. All right, and it works. Great. Okay, now let's move on to update, where we have the update. Here it is. Once again, I'm gonna comment this out, move it a bit lower. And here, once again, we are matching, finding by ID, and then updating. So I can just copy paste this entire thing. So it's all going to be the same, right? And we are returning the person. And then just in between of return, we need to add the set. Let's see what kind of set options we have. We have the direct set, where we specify label, variables. All right, let's see what we have. We have set label as well, and we have set values. All right, this looks like more it, what we're gonna use. So I'm just gonna use set values because we can specify just the alias we're using, the property we would like to change, and the value. So here we can just set values, and I think we can just add name and age, and that's it. Because we don't have any other nodes, we have only one node. Let me see if it's gonna work. I'm not sure. It's maybe we need to specify that it's going to be a person and then property on a person, or maybe it will work straight away. It will resolve it under the hood. All right, let's add the update mutation. All right, update person ID will be the following, and then the person input. Let's update just the name. So this will be George Saint PM. Right, let me run it. Name not defined. All right. So yeah, I think we need to specify. Yeah, it doesn't understand. So we need to add a person like so. So it's going to be entities that person, and here we need to wrap it into a string. Like so, and here will be name. And we need to do the same for the age. And now let's see if it works. Person, all right, let's see what's the next error. Person age is required, unexpected parameter person age. Oh yeah, we need to make it to, actually not sure what's the error. All right, so how we can debug the queries. I'm gonna show it to you. So we can, there is something called interpolate. So we can view the query itself. We will comment this out, and then let's name it just query debug. And let's log it out and see what is the actual query. Let me make it a bit bigger and let me send a mutation. All right, so what are we doing? Age, all right. Yeah, I got it. So we need to specify the age, otherwise, yeah, although it's not required here, now it's required in here. So we can add additional checks if we have the value, then provide, then add the string in here, otherwise remove it from here. But yeah, let me just add the age here. Make sure that I understand it correctly. Yeah. So just we are providing here empty value and we can't provide empty value here. So yeah, we will need to add some additional checks. Okay, let me do it actually. So probably we can write some function which will map over the values we are providing, but for now I'm just gonna write very simple function, something like name. So here will be let update object, just an empty object, and then if we have name, then update object will be equal to this bit, and if we have age, then update object will spread update object, and here we will add age, and now in here we will provide update object. So once again, you can write some, I'm sure, some JavaScript function which will resolve it all for any property, but I'm just a bit lazy to do that, and that's not the point of this video, so I'm not gonna stop on that. And let's see if it works. Yeah, it works. And now let's remove age, and it still works. So let me just make it George St. Pierre 1. So yeah. So everything works now. Okay, let me delete this part. And now let's update the final bit, which is delete. So once again, we're matching and finding where. You can try to do it yourself if you would like. You can pause the video and yeah, try to write it on your own and then check if your result matches mine, or maybe you can find a better solution. Nevertheless, let's write the delete. Let's see what we need to provide in it. There is as well detached delete. Nevertheless, I don't see what we need to provide, but let me open it like this. So terms, many string options. All right, I assume we need to provide just the entity. All right, let's see if it works. And by the way, I haven't used this Cypher query builder myself. I mean, I used it just a little bit about 2 months ago. So I'm just exploring it myself with you right now. So let me add the delete mutation. Yep, so all we need to do is provide the ID. All right, we got success, and now let's try to read this query, and we're getting null. All right, it was deleted. Okay, so this will be it for the intro with Cypher Query Builder. I hope you got the idea. Let me show it once again with the update query. So the most important here that we are using match. This is what we're gonna use probably the most often. So we have node here, then we can specify relation and another node. Okay, let's start writing these queries and we will explore it more. Okay, so I'm gonna copy this query now. Okay, let me just remove everything for now, and actually I can comment this part just to show you the results. So we're getting for example, you have some user. I would assume that in the actual application you would log in and have your ID, but here we are using just a name because that's what we have in this database. And we are exploring all the movies this person watched and then finding all the genres she watched and finding the most popular genre she watched overall. So we can recommend her, this is the genre you prefer the most, and then based on that we can make some more recommendations. But anyway, we can recommend her already the genre she likes the most. All right, as you can see, that's what we are doing. And the other query, we will check it later on. Let's start with this for now. So actually, let me walk you through the project quickly. So I've made some changes in the schema. I've already added 2 queries. So movie rating count recommendation, because that's for this one. So we are, but let's move to it later on. So this query I named user genre movie count recommendation. So that's what we are doing. We are finding the genre and count of the movies, as you can see here, and we are starting with the user. So I prefer to name them from where we start. So we are starting from user, then we are moving to movie and genre. And here we're making recommendations based on user, genre, and the movie count. So that's how I named the function. And I'm gonna write these queries from the root node where we're starting, right? So I'm starting from the user and I'm gonna keep this query in the user module. And I've already added this module. So let me walk you through it quickly. There is nothing extremely special. So we are just getting username, a limit in case if you would like to. So here I'm specifying limit 10, but just in case if you would like to get more recommendations, right? A bigger list. So we can change the number, and here we are using user service. Then we are running the function with the same method, and there is no business logic, so we are straight away going into repository, and for now it's just returning an empty string. All right, so now let's write down the function and the query, sorry, which gonna provide us the results. So let me paste this query in here, and let's try to build the same with the query builders. So let me type const result will be equal to await this dot query repository, and we will init query, and then we will start. So what are we doing actually? We are matching user, then we are going to relation, then to movie, then to another relation, and then to genre. All right, let's check the match. So we have node, relation, node, and then we need to add another relation and another node, right? Let's do this. So we are starting with the array. So here we will start with the node. So the alias we're going to use is user. So this will be entities dot user. And I'm going to use the same, obviously, label. Actually, we don't even need user here. Can I do it without? Yeah, I can just do it like so. All right, let me just leave it for now like this, and later maybe we might refactor it. So here the parameter will be name, and I'm providing the argument username, and the next element of the array will be relation, and we need to specify just that it's rated. So this will be relations dot rated. Now we are moving to movie, so I'm just gonna copy this bit and add it in here. So what is the relation direction? Oh, we need to specify direction. Yeah. So yeah, here we have the TypeScript which tells us, so this will be relation out because it's going to the movie. So this will be out, and then we need to specify alias, and then we need to specify the relation, right? Like so. So I'm not adding any alias because we are not adding any here and we don't need it. We are not using the relation itself. We are not, accessing any properties on the relation. So after that, we are moving to movie. So I will adjust this to movie, and we are not adding any filters. So I'm just going to delete that. And then we are adding another relation. So this relation goes out as well to genre. And here will be in genre. And we are going to the genre node. And it looks like I did not add it. That's correct. So let me add genre here. And we're gonna stop server and generate schema. Okay, and now let's check oh, I clicked something incorrect. Why am I getting error? So genre is available. Oh, now it's good. All right. And now let's start once again the server. All right, so we did this match part. Now we need to work on the return. And let's see what we can return. If we can group by here and make use of count, and actually I don't see this option. So yeah, I think we will have to. So here we are using only node and then specifying the properties we would like to return. But here we need to get the count of in genre. And actually here I should add the alias for the genre. So I'm gonna add it like so. This will be also in like so. And we can move it to actually some variable, um, genre alias. And so here probably we will just write the raw query. So we will return um, entities.genre.name and here another comment will be count in genre and as movie count. And let's add an alias here as genre name. And yep, now let's add the order by. So what do we have here? Order by, we can specify the properties. All right, so the first argument we can specify various properties. We can nest them even, and the second one is the direction. So we will order them by movie count, and the direction will be descending. And we can here as well make a constant for that, so we don't make any typos. I mean, maybe it's a bit too much, but I just prefer to keep it this way to make sure that I'm not making any typos in the strings. And here we will make it as a string. All right. And here I assume I can't provide any random value, right? Yes, so here I can only provide descending or ascending. All right, so we added the order by. Now let's limit by the value of limit as well, limit. And yep, and just run the query and it should return the correct value. So for now, I'm returning just an empty string, and let's log what is the result if the query even works. Okay, let's move to the playground. And oh, sorry, that's a query. So we will have user genre and username. So let's find some users first. So I will match you user, return you, limit 10. All right, let's see. Let's grab Tracy Irvin. Let's see if she has a lot of, yeah, she has a lot of relations. Okay. So let's see what Tracy Irving watches. Okay, we are getting empty string, and what is the outcome? So we got the values. Great. So we can return directly this result. So it's already, we don't need to adjust anything. So we can return the result. And the only thing we need to change is in our schema. We need to change the value we are returning. So I'm gonna add here, sorry, in the types. I'm gonna name it the same way. This is how I prefer to do it, and here I will add the result. And so this will be genre name, which will be string, and movie count, and this will be required, and movie count is integer, and it's also will be always return. And what do I have here? Small letter. Let's remove it. All right, let's regenerate schema. Okay, sting. Uh, Obviously, it should be string. I always make typos in here. That's good that I have this check. All right. Uh, let's wait for the server. All right, the server is on, and let's try it one more time. String cannot represent value. Oh, and that should be. Oh, I didn't change it in here. Oh my God. And this will be an array. All right, let's stop it once again. Oh yeah. Working with TypeScript and then this types always makes me a bit confused. Making errors there. This brings me to the thinking that if I was a lawyer, oh my God, I would be a horrible lawyer. I would be making typos everywhere. But luckily we have these checks in programming. All right. So, oh yeah, we need to adjust the query. So I'm lazy to type it. I'm just gonna do it like so. And let's request the result, and we are getting it back. All right, great. So we can also add a limit. So for example, if we want just 3 results, not 10, and it works as well. Great. Okay, so we are getting basic recommendations for the user. Based on these, on the movies he rated, we are able to find the genres we can recommend him later on. Okay, now let's move to the second query. Let's keep this one out for, let's keep it there for now open. So I'm gonna copy, comment it out and open this one, and let's see what it returns. All right. Oh, misclick. All right, let's check it out. All right, so we got the Fight Club and the popularity. All right, so the idea of this query is that we recommend movies similar to the ones other users rated. So for example, we know that we have stored value in our database that the user watched Snatch, and then based on all the users who rated this movie, we can look for other movies they rated, right? So we know, and then we are adding also filters. So we are looking only for users who rated highly this movie, and we are finding other movies they rated highly with the same rating to make recommendations. All right, and so this query actually quite similar to the one we did just now. We are just adding a few where statements. So if you would like, you can try to write it out yourself, and then yeah, we can compare the results. All right, so let me copy it out and let's start writing. I'm gonna close this one for now. So I have the movie module as well. It's exactly the same as the user. So I'm just gonna move straight away to repository. And in any case, I'm gonna add the repository into Git, so you will be able to check it out yourself. And here I'm providing the same arguments, just a movie name and a limit. Obviously, you can add another arguments here like a rating for both rating, like initial rating, who rated the movie we are providing, and other ratings, so you can play around with it. But for now, I'm just making it quite simple, and you can you basically get the idea, and you can play around with options later on. All right, so let's add the result. We will await for query repository, init query. And what we are doing, once again we are matching a node, then we are moving to rating, to rated relation, and from it we are finding users. So this will be relation in, it going into our user. So let me just, so it goes in here. So the direction of the relation will be in, and then from user, we are moving to all the movies these users rated, and the relation will be out to other movies. And then we are filtering out based on the two relations ratings. And then we're just collecting the title and the count to make a popular, basically how popular are recommended movies. Okay, let's write it out. So we are starting once again with the match, and we are starting out with, then we continue with the nodes, and now we need to add the entities, and it will be movie. And I'm gonna add it here, and now we will add the title, and the title will be movie name. Then we are adding, oh, just like so, relation. So the relation will be rated. Oh, we need to specify the direction. Direction will be in. Now let's add the let's add init rated alias. So this will be init relationship how did I name it? Uh, relations. Relations. Let's import it. Relations dot rated. All right, so we will add it here, and in here we will add relations rated. So once again, we can add an abstraction on top of relation. So for example, we can add a function which will always generate some name for us for the alias, which is different from this, so it can use the same alias. Yeah, but for now I'm just gonna write it in here so you get the idea. I'm not gonna over complex it, uh, if that's a word, but you got the idea. So here I will add entities dot user. I'm gonna copy it. And do we even need user? Yeah, we need user, but I mean, we don't need to filter out anything. And now we are moving to rate it once again. And this will be recommendation rated. So I'm just gonna rate it. And here I will use it as well. And this relation will be out. And we are moving to a movie node. So I'm just gonna copy paste the movie node and remove the filter. All right. So I think we are good here. Now we need to add the where clause. So let's see what we can provide. So we need to filter out by our aliases. So we need to use our init alias dot rating. Yeah, let's make it properly. What am I doing? Like so, and this will be in the brackets, and this should equal, oh, we need to, let me check how we can make a greater than, because here is an equality check. Greater than, all right, there is a function, all right, greater than, okay. And then this same one will be for rec rated. Let me check what else we have here. I'm just curious now. So greater than, and now we have between contains everything. So you can see there is a link to documentation, so we can check all of those, how we can use equals exist, greater equal, and etc. is null, is array. Wow, that's great. Awesome. Okay, so we are done with the where. Now let's move to return. Once again, we will write it out just ourselves. So this will be a string. We are returning the recommended movie.title. So here we will actually change the alias because we can't have the same aliases for different nodes. So let me just add um, this will be like so, and we will return the rec movie alias, and the property will be on a title, and let's make it as a title. And also we're just gonna copy paste the count as popularity. All right, and then we are just once again using order by. Why I don't get the autocomplete? Oh, now I get it. Order by popularity, and this will be descending. Let's limit it to limit, and let's run it. All right, so I'm gonna let's skip it for now, and let's once again log the result if we're getting the correct values. Is the server running? Yes, the server is on. Everything is good. Let's move in here, and this will be movie rating recommendation. So movie name, let's once again use the snatch. Oh, it took a while. 262 seconds. Wow. That's strange, but nevertheless, let's see the results. Okay, we got the results. So we got the title, popularity, and etc. So we can return the entire thing. Let me stop the server. Let me make it a bit smaller. Move to our schema. And let me copy this method's name. This will be a result, and we will have title. So we can just copy this ones and rename. So it will be title and popularity. And now let's return this value. And this will be array of it. Right, this is array. Yes, this is an array. Let's regenerate the schema. And let's run the server once again. I think we can remove the logs and return the result. All right, let's test it out. So here we will get more values. We will get title and popularity, and let's run it. Boom, we got the value. And now it's much faster. Maybe there's something with my computer, I don't know, or maybe it cached it out now. Let's find other movies and see if Neo4j is kind of slow for some reason here, but it should be fast actually. So I'm just gonna add a movie node here, and I'm not gonna change the alias. Which movie we're gonna pick? Toy Story. Let's take the Toy Story. Let me copy the title. Where is it? And let's add it in here. All right, it was extremely fast. So probably there was something on my side, and now it's all good. And we got, yeah. So the people who watch Toy Story like Shawshank Redemption. Oh, that's surprising. And Star Wars. All right, so you can play around with these queries. So as you can see, we are getting here recommendations for the movies based on the movie a user watched. All right, so this will be it for this video. In the next video, we will start writing similar queries for creating, updating, deleting, and exploring how we can use them as well. All right, thank you very much for watching. See you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.